Welcome to history's mysterious mines, where ancient echoes ripple through time and truth hides beneath centuries of sand and sea. Tonight, we dive into a story older than history itself, a civilization of unmatched power, a paradise that vanished in a single day and night. Fact or fable, warning or wonder, it began with Plato, but refuses to end. This is the enduring legend of the lost city of Atlantis. Atlantis first appeared not in ruins, but in writing. Greek philosopher Plato described it around 360 BCE, a powerful island nation beyond the Pillars of Hercules, wealthy, advanced, and ultimately destroyed by its own hubris. In Timaeus and Critias, he called it a warning to Athens. But did Plato invent Atlantis, or record a fading memory passed down through time? That question has echoed for over 2,000 years. According to Plato, Atlantis was a marvel, concentric rings of land and water, temples of gold, fertile fields, and advanced engineering. Its people were descendants of gods and mortals, but their arrogance led to their downfall. In a single day and night of misfortune, Atlantis sank beneath the waves. Plato placed Atlantis beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. That points us west, into the Atlantic Ocean. But he also said Atlantis was larger than Libya and Asia combined. A vast claim, too vast, some argue. Was he exaggerating? Or describing a once mighty continent swallowed by time? Geography offers hints, but never certainty. Some scholars point to the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete, an advanced culture with art, trade, and complex architecture. Around 1600 BCE, it was devastated by a massive volcanic eruption on nearby Thera, modern-day Santorini. Could this real event have inspired the myth? A once powerful people, undone by nature's fury? If so, Atlantis may not have vanished in legend, but in ash and fire. The Thera eruption was one of the largest in human history. Tsunamis followed, devastating coastal cities across the Aegean. For survivors, it must have felt like the world ending. Stories of such trauma can echo for centuries, passed down as warnings transformed into myth. Was Atlantis born from fire, then drowned in sea? Explorers and scientists have searched oceans for evidence of Atlantis, from the Bahamas to the Azores, from Spain to Antarctica. Satellite imagery, sonar scans, and deep-sea dives reveal anomalies, but no confirmation. Stone formations, sunken structures, mysterious grids, but without proof, they remain tantalizing whispers of possibility. Science seeks hard evidence, while legend lives in the space between. Some believe the Azores, a group of islands in the Atlantic, are the mountain peaks of ancient Atlantis. They lie roughly where Plato described, and rise from a submerged plateau. Underwater formations there have stirred debate, but are they man-made or natural? Could an entire civilization have stood there once only to slip beneath the waves forever? In the 20th century, American mystic Edgar Cayce claimed Atlantis was real. He spoke of crystal power sources and survivors fleeing to Egypt and the Americas. He predicted ruins would rise near Bimini in the Bahamas. When divers found the Bimini Road, a strange underwater formation, it fueled belief. But skeptics say it's just natural limestone. Fact, fiction, or the blurred line in between. From Disney films to conspiracy documentaries, Atlantis has captured modern imagination. It's a symbol of lost wisdom, ancient technology, and spiritual awakening. Atlantis isn't just a place anymore, it's an idea, a canvas for dreams of what once was, or what could be again. But does turning it into fantasy push us farther from the truth? Some fringe researchers believe Atlantis lies beneath the ice of Antarctica, a theory fueled by ancient maps, like the Piri-Reis map, depicting the continent before it was covered in ice. Could Atlantis have existed in a time before the last ice age? And if so, what else have we forgotten from that ancient world? The theory lacks evidence, but refuses to disappear. Atlantis is often linked with ancient technology. machines powered by crystals, anti-gravity vehicles, underwater energy sources. These ideas fuel the belief that human history is older and more advanced than we've been told. Mainstream scholars dismiss them, but the persistence of these ideas reveals something deeper, our yearning to believe we've lost something great. Some suggest Atlanteans survived, spreading knowledge across the world, to Egypt, to the Americas, to the Indus Valley. Shared symbols, myths, and pyramids across cultures support this theory for some. Coincidence? Parallel development? Or traces of a lost mother civilization? The puzzle pieces don't quite fit, but the pattern is hard to ignore. Of course, Plato may have intended none of this to be taken literally. He described Atlantis as a cautionary tale about pride, power, and downfall. If so, we're chasing a metaphor across oceans. But sometimes stories outgrow their origins, and the search for Atlantis becomes a mirror, reflecting our own desires, flaws, and fears. Over time, Atlantis has attracted hoaxes and opportunists, fake maps, forged artifacts, imaginary ruins. Each one muddies the water, making serious study harder, yet the mystery persists because truth is patient, even when surrounded by lies. Why won't we let Atlantis go? Because we want to believe in a golden age, a time when humanity was wiser, kinder, more connected to nature. And if we lost it once, maybe we can find it again. Atlantis is not just a place, it's a hope. Atlantis may be legend, but underwater cities are real. Dwarka in India, Pavlopetri in Greece, Yonaguni near Japan. All ancient cities lost to the sea, only rediscovered in modern times. Atlantis may be fiction, but the reality of civilization swallowed by water is undeniable. Despite centuries of searching, Atlantis remains elusive. No ruins, no artifacts, no clear coordinates, just words, theories, and questions. And yet, the lack of proof hasn't ended the quest, because belief, once ignited, resists extinguishing. Atlantis endures because myth is powerful. It shapes cultures, inspires quests, and fuels wonder. Whether real or imagined, its story survives because it speaks to something deep in us. The fear of loss, the pull of mystery, the dream of what once was and what might be again. So was Atlantis real? A forgotten empire, a misunderstood allegory, or a mirror of our own world's fate? No one can say for certain. But perhaps the truth isn't found in ruins, but in the reasons we keep looking, and the stories we pass down long after memory fades. Thank you for joining me on this journey into one of history's most mysterious stories. If this story stirred your thoughts, share the podcast, subscribe, and leave a review. Have a theory of your own? A shadow you think we should chase? Send it in. We're always listening. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and remember, some cities may sink, but their stories never do.